Welcome to the presentation on Microsoft Dynamics CRM versus Salesforce. My name is Jalinda Prekop, Sales Manager at Ledgeview Partners, and I'll be today's presenter. With the time we have today, my primary intention is to give you an idea of how each application looks and feels, and how many of the same functions can be done just slightly differently when comparing each product, Dynamics CRM and Salesforce. So why Dynamics CRM and Salesforce? Well, they are the market leaders. The Gartner's Magic Quadrant shows that they are not only the two products in the top tier for vision, but also on their ability to execute that vision. Salesforce has been in the upper quadrant for some time as the market leader. Here are some impressive highlights about Salesforce. Dynamics CRM has been the fastest climber into this quadrant and has been tightening the gap with Salesforce. Here are some impressive highlights about Dynamics CRM. Okay, let's get started on the main topic. Here are a few of the comparison points I'll be reviewing today. I'm going to save questions for the end to ensure we make it through each of these items. I will say generally, though, both of these products are extremely feature-rich and offer very similar features, but offer a pretty different user experience. For each point, I'll first review Dynamics CRM and then repeat using Salesforce. Hold on to your seats. We have a lot to cover. The first item is navigation. While both of these products are very similar in their general functionality, they differ a lot in their look and feel. Let's jump over to Dynamics CRM. From within Dynamics CRM, the navigation is handled in a top-down approach. Home is whatever you decide you want it to be. I'm using a dashboard as a home page. The dashboard can contain a variety of information, including charts, Yammer feeds, and list views. We'll look at more of these closely a little bit later. To access specific areas of the system, you work from the top down by hovering over the specific area. I can navigate to the service or marketing area from here. From within the sales area, I can access each of the individual modules that are available or functions that are available by hovering over the sales button. And dashboards will show me what are my most recently viewed dashboards. The Create button is a way to quickly create a new record. And you can see I have a variety of choices here. I'm going to use creating a new lead as an example. And the system presents to me a quick create feature instead of bringing up the full form for data entry, thus helping the user be more productive and quickly getting information into the system. So now jumping over to Salesforce, let's see what the navigation looks like here. From within Salesforce, the navigation is much more visible and works in a tab concept. Home is a standard layout but allows for configuration to show the items you're most interested in. It is very similar to Dynamics CRM in that you have a variety of things that can be displayed here. Your home page shows chat or feeds, a dashboard section where you can specify a specific dashboard you want to be looking at, and then you have your tasks and calendar items as well. The left side navigation shows us the recently viewed items for quick access, and by hovering allows us to easily get into those records. The tabs across the top are for navigating to all other areas within Salesforce. And this plus sign provides us an easy way to navigate to any other area of the system as well. Create New is a way to create a specific record. The difference here is the entire record is presented to you for entry, as you see with this new contact form. As we cover the rest of the presentation, you'll get more familiar with the navigation in general on both of these systems. So let's move on to our next topic, dashboards. And again, we'll start with Dynamics CRM. Dashboards are a great way to navigate within CRM and also be presented with the most frequently used information. They can be very unique based on a person's role. You can see there are many different dashboards available from this drop-down view. System dashboards as well as user-created dashboards. Users can create their own dashboards using a wizard format that is very easy to create the things that you want for a very personalized experience. The data presented in the dashboards is real-time all the time. This is a key differentiator from Salesforce. Each time I return to my dashboard, the data will reflect any changes that may have occurred. So we're going to start with a dashboard that might be used by a sales rep to see opportunity pipeline and activity management. Here's a dashboard I've created called the Sales Daily Dashboard. The dashboard has charts and views presented in it. I can drill directly into any of these areas to see the full list of information. But I can also drill into the charts of information to see what else is behind the scenes here. I'm going to drill into my open opportunity list. Going into this information, I'm presented with the original chart from my dashboard, but also a list view of all of the information that makes up the data in the chart. I can select a portion of the chart and have the data refreshed. I can also filter from within the list itself. So if I wanted to take a look at just my hot opportunities, I can select from here, have the data represented, and refresh my chart to see what stage in the sales process those opportunities are in. From here, I can also go into any of the opportunities that are presented in that list. And we'll come back and take a closer look at the opportunity form in our next section. I'm going to go ahead and, another thing I wanted to point out is that I can also, from here, well, first of all, I'm going to release my filter, go back to my original dashboard or my original chart. And I can also take a look at this data by using other charts that I have available to me. So maybe from this list of open opportunities, I want to see who are my top customers or how are my top customers reflected from within that pipeline. Lastly, I want to show you the ability to export this information out to Excel. So from any list view within Dynamics CRM, you have this export to Excel function. And I can export into a static worksheet, or I can export into a dynamic pivot table or a dynamic worksheet. These dynamic worksheets allow me to link the CRM data into the Excel worksheet itself. And what that means is each time I reopen that worksheet, I'll have a little data tab within Excel that allows me to directly refresh the information from any new updates that have occurred in CRM. So let's now look at a similar process within Salesforce. From our home page, we can select a specific dashboard. Again, that was being presented in our home area here. But to get to a wider range of dashboards that are available, we're going to actually navigate to the Dashboards tab. Dashboards can be very unique based, again, on a person's area of interest. You can see there are many different dashboards available within Salesforce based on a person's area of interest or their particular role. You can also create your own dashboards as well for a more personalized experience using the clone button. The clone is really intended to just get you started. It will take the dashboard you're currently on and allow you to then make the necessary changes to create your own personalized dashboard as a save as option. We'll start with a dashboard that might be used by a sales rep to see opportunity analysis and activities. We're going to use the Sales KPI dashboard. The nice thing in Salesforce is that you're not limited by the number of charts that you have presented in the dashboard. In Dynamics, there is a current limit of 6. Salesforce also provides you with more chart types than are available in Dynamics. In this particular dashboard, I have a very large variety of charts to view. I'm going to drill into the new business pipeline chart. This presents me with a report. You can see I'm in the reports area of Salesforce. Scrolling down, I'm presented with a list of the opportunities as well as that original chart that I had drilled into. If I want to go ahead and filter through this, I have some options available to me. And again, this is using kind of the reporting features within Salesforce. So maybe I want to take a look at the opportunities that are greater than 50% probability of closing. I'm going to filter that and go ahead and run my report. From here, I can also go directly to an opportunity, just like I did within Dynamic CRM. And again, just like with CRM, with Dynamics, we're going to come back and take a look at this opportunity a little bit later. So I'm going to go ahead and release the filter and return to my full list of opportunities. And then point out that you also have the ability here to export your information. Within Salesforce, you have some limitations here in that you have two formats that you can use, and you do not have that same kind of tight integration with Excel for doing the dynamic linking between Salesforce and Excel. But you can get that information exported out and work with it. So it's time to move on to our next topic. Pipeline management and the sales process. And here we're also going to touch on account management and activity management. Returning to Dynamic CRM. I'm going to return to my opportunity list that we had been looking at a little bit earlier and bring up the R.R. Donnelley laminated film opportunity. Dynamic CRM forms open in an edit mode and have an auto-save feature included. Before I review the opportunity, though, I want to take a more close look at the R.R. Donnelley account itself. I can get to that account information directly from within my opportunity. So this is our first close look at one of the Dynamic CRM forms. Out of the box, they are structured in this 3-column format with primary information on the left-hand side. All open and closed activities are presented in the center part of the form. Additionally, you'll also see Yammer posts. And Yammer is what would be similar to Chatter in Salesforce, where you have the ability to collaborate through an intranet kind of deployment or product to share information across the organization. And then on the right-hand side is what we call secondary information. And we'll come back up to this a little bit later. There's a couple of other areas I want to spend a little bit of time on. The first one being the integration with Bing Maps. So on any form where there's a valid address, you're going to see the mapping feature here where you can drill in and out. And by clicking on this button, I would be taken to Bing Maps in a browser where I can continue to get driving directions. Continuing to scroll down in the form, we have an area called Social Insights. This Insights product is included at no additional cost to Dynamic CRM online customers by a partner, an OEM partner called Inside View. Salesforce has something called data.com, which has an additional fee associated with it, but it is used for similar types of things like lead generation, prospecting, and data cleansing. Insights gives me great visibility into an account, such as key information about that particular business, maybe industry profile information. I can also see people that are affiliated with this company. And these are people that it's finding out on the internet, maybe through LinkedIn or various other sources. And if I have that information and want to go ahead and bring that particular person into CRM as a new contact, I would use the Synchronize button. The buzz area is that news feed. What are the various things that are being said out in the stratosphere of the web about this particular business? Family tree would show us all of the subsidiary organizations. We've got similar accounts would be other businesses that are similar to them. And then this ellipses shows me all the other additional information that I can be looking at specific to this industry profile. And this could be something that would be very, very helpful for a salesperson as they're getting ready for call prep into this type of an industry. So I'm going to scroll back up this form a little bit and talk about the secondary information that's being presented on the right side. So I see this area for contacts, and this is an area that's very important to continue to maintain, update contacts and add new contacts. This plus button will present to me a quick create form where I can easily add that name and address and email information for a contact, have it save, and then still be on my account form. And I can do the same type of thing for opportunities where I can add a new opportunity, or in this case, I'm going to return back to that laminated film opportunity we were looking at. So within the dynamic CRM opportunity, we have a feature called a business or sales process. These business or sales processes are configurable for your own specific sales process, but I also want to point out they are not required to use. So if this doesn't fit your particular business structure, this portion of the form would be removed altogether. The sales process contains various stages, and these stages, if you're using the sales process, are what's used to present information in that sales pipeline we looked at a little bit earlier. Then within each stage, you have various steps that need to be completed. Once those steps are completed, you can move on to the next stage in the sales process. The center area of the form shows us all the open or completed activities for this opportunity and allows us to very quickly add new tasks or phone calls or appointments or emails related to this particular activity, this opportunity. Tasks, appointments, phone calls, and emails are all synchronized immediately with Outlook. The emails would be sent out, the appointments would be added to the calendar, and tasks would be added as Outlook tasks into Outlook. Your subgrids on the right-hand side here are presenting a variety of information. Stakeholders are outside influencers in this particular sale. Your sales team are the internal people that you're working with to help you on that sale, and then if there are any competitors that have been identified as part of this opportunity. As we roll down through the form, you'll see that opportunities can have products associated with them. I can easily update this quantity to 100 and save my opportunity. I can also add new products as well. Another feature is quoting. Quotes can be created from the information on the opportunity and pull in all the product line information from the opportunity. Once a quote is activated and changes are needed, I'll need to create a new revision of that quote. Here I have one in draft form already where I can apply a 5% discount that we've recently agreed upon with the customer. We're going to go ahead and save that information so it is reflected on the quote. And from there I can go ahead and move forward to activating the quote and printing the quote. When I'm ready to print the quote, we have the ability to use mail merge templates that are available and are standard feature within Dynamics CRM. So if you have various templates built out, the user can select the template they want to use and from there move forward to printing or executing that quote and then emailing it or sending it to the customer. So now let's look at that same process from within Salesforce. I'm going to return to my new business opportunity report and bring up the R.R. Donnelley laminated film opportunity. Before I review the opportunity, though, I want to look more closely at the R.R. Donnelley account. Again, I can get there directly from the opportunity itself. And hovering over the name will allow me to click into view or edit, or viewing the hierarchy from here, or I can click directly into the name to be taken to that account record. So this is our first closer look at the Salesforce forms. Out of the box, they are structured in this top-down format. Chatter feeds are shown at the top of all of the forms. And again, chatter is like the internal communications within the organization about specific things related to this particular account or opportunity. You can either scroll down through the form or get to various areas that you use using the tab navigation here that is underneath the chatter area. What's really nice here is that by hovering over each option, it presents a mini list that where I can select a record I want to open, or I can create new records as well. Again, I'm not going to spend much time here, but I do want to point out a couple of key things in Salesforce. Account hierarchy is a nice feature to see all child accounts in an organized structure. And this shows not only the parent and child, but it also shows sub-child structure to that hierarchy as well. Custom links, as I scroll down through this form, provide access to several areas. Google Maps opens a separate window where the address is already pinned on the map, and I can continue to move forward to get my driving directions to that particular location. Google News will show any recent news articles and information about that particular account. If you had data.com, you would also have access to Hoover's, where you could get additional information about that particular business and industry information as well. And again, that would be that data.com product. Continuing to scroll down the account form, I see my list of contacts, where I can also create a new contact. Again, that will bring up a brand new contact form, but it's very similar. I put the primary information in, say save and new, and it's going to return me back to my original account where I started from. Next, I want to go into the laminated film opportunity by selecting it from my opportunity list. The opportunity form is laid out in the same structure as the account. Salesforce does not have the concept of a sales process, but it does use something called stages to really track that type of sales process. It's also used for reporting and pipeline tracking. Salesforce forms open in a read-only mode. So I need to select the Edit button if I wanted to go through the process of changing the current sales stage that I'm in. And I would go ahead and save any necessary changes. In Salesforce, all of the changes to the sales stage are tracked. That is not the case in Dynamic CRM out of the box. So this is a very nice feature. And by hovering over the sales stage history within the opportunity, I can see the dates and times that the opportunity moved into its various stages. Scrolling through the form, I can see all of my activities and add any new tasks. I can log a call. I can schedule an appointment within these areas. I can see the other people that are involved in the sales process and any external influencers and partners and competitors as well. Continuing to scroll down, when I look at my opportunity team, I see the internal team that's going to be assisting me on this sales process as well. Opportunities can also have products associated with them. Here, if I wanted to change my quantity to 100, I go into my edit mode, make my change, and save it. I can also add other products to this opportunity. Quotes can be created from the information on the opportunity, and it pulls the information and all the product line information from the opportunity into that quote. I can have multiple revisions of a quote in Salesforce. Quote 2 is in a draft format already. So going into this quote, I can edit the quote line information, and here's where I would apply that discount of 5%. We'll go ahead and save that information. And now I'm in a position where I can go ahead and move forward and print that quote out. Printing within the Salesforce quote presents a PDF option for being able to save and email this quote to a customer. And out of the box, it provides this one particular layout that you can use for sending that quote and preparing that quote for the customer. Okay, time to move on to our next topic. Mobile. In the interest of time, I'm going to show screenshots of both mobile solutions. However, I do want to point out that you can easily access these through the iTunes store for both Dynamic CRM as well as Salesforce. Dynamic CRM Mobile is included at no additional charge when you're using the Dynamic CRM product. Dynamic CRM starts from a dashboard page when you first log in, but there is only one dashboard option available for all users. It also provides a left side navigation to access other areas of the system. Global search is available using the magnifying glass that you see highlighted. Using that feature, I can go in and specify what is it that I want to search for, and then what record types is it that I want to look at when I'm doing that search. And it returns the various information that it's finding. I'm going to go ahead and select that R.R. Donnelly account and be presented with the account form within the iPad app. The forms within Dynamic CRM on the mobile devices will move from left to right. In Dynamic CRM, you do not create a separate mobile form, so the forms that we were looking at in the browser are presented appropriately depending on the mobile device that you're using. As I move my form to the right, I can see my contacts and opportunities. I can also add new contacts or opportunities by using the plus button. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the laminated film opportunity here on the mobile device. I'm able to edit the information directly. I can also update my steps in my sales process and move the opportunity to the next sales stage. There may be times when I need to add additional products to this opportunity, or maybe I want to close the opportunity as one. So here's the ability to add additional products, and then I also have this bottom-up option here that presents itself with more features where I can close my opportunity, can actually even open the opportunity in a browser, or I can ask the system to pin this opportunity to my dashboard. And when we return to the dashboard, you're going to see what that looks like when you pin records to it. So let's return back to the dashboard. And now you'll see that I have pinned that laminated film opportunity onto my dashboard because I want to quickly access it and find it all the time. From my dashboard, I can also add new activities or access the activities that I already have created. Go ahead, open them, complete the activity, and have it removed from my open activities list. Here's what creating a new appointment would look like within the system. Once I present all of that, once I enter all of the information about this appointment, it will go ahead and synchronize this with my Outlook calendar as well. Lastly, I want to show the chart functionality that's available within the mobile device. charts can be added into the dashboard, which is what we're looking at here. I can click into this dashboard, take a look, into this chart, and take a look at the list of opportunities that make up the information that's being presented in that sales pipeline chart. Some additional things I can do is change the chart that I'm looking at or select a different view. So you see these, again, bottom-up options. So select your view, or in this case, I'm showing you that you can select different charts. So before we were looking at our top customer chart, that same chart is available to me through the mobile device. So now let's see, and here I'm showing, again, the ability to select the view and change the view. So maybe I want to look at all my closed opportunities, and I can do that as well from here. All right, so we're going to now move on to Salesforce One, which is the Salesforce mobile solution. It comes standard with the product as well. When you first log in, you're taken to the chatter area where I can specify what things to view. So this is very unique to Salesforce. Dynamics CRM does not offer that Yammer integration on the mobile device. So chatter is very prevalent within the Salesforce solution and carries that right through into the Salesforce One mobile app. The plus sign here opens up something called a publisher. The publisher is where I can quickly add new records. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and log a call. Now, I've already pre-populated this information, but it was very quick to enter the subject, who the person was I was calling, my comments, and then the fact that the call was related to a particular opportunity. Salesforce One also provides navigation into other areas of the system using that left side navigation. And one of the things I wanted to point out is this Today option. The great thing about this is it pulls in the information from my Outlook calendar and shows me everything that I have scheduled. Salesforce One also provides a global search feature using this search area at the top. Putting in my starting with information, I'm presented in this case with the various opportunities that it had found, as well as that account record. Opening up the account record for R.R. Donnelly, I see that the Salesforce forms move from top to bottom. So they're consistent in both the browser as well as the mobile experience. My feed area would be where I could see specifically the chatter feeds that are relevant to this particular account. Here we're looking at the detail information for an account. Related information will take me to social information. So if I was signed in with Twitter and there was Twitter dialogue going on about R.R. Donnelly, I would see that here in this information. I'm also able to quickly get to contacts, opportunities, other things related to the R.R. Donnelly account. The plus button will allow me to create new records specific to R.R. Donnelly, similar to the log a call we looked at earlier. And then again, by selecting opportunities, it would take me to a list of all opportunities where I can then select a specific opportunity I wanted to look at. And in this case, I'm back to that laminated film opportunity for R.R. Donnelly. I can edit that information. And in this case, related information is going to show me all other related information specific to this particular opportunity. Here I could go ahead and change products or add new products and any other information specific to this particular opportunity. Returning back to my navigation area, I want to show you what the dashboards look like in Salesforce One. The nice thing about Salesforce is that I have access to all of my dashboards. So looking at the sales KPI dashboard, I see that all of the charts are in here, but they work from that top down, scrolling through each of the charts that were in that broader dashboard I was looking at from the browser. I can drill into the details of the chart as well. In this example, I drilled into the new business opportunities chart and was presented with a list view where I can then select a particular record, and then I'm presented with this prompt to asking me if I want to go to that particular opportunity. So a great feature of drill through capabilities from within the Salesforce One dashboards. There are many features to show from the mobile device. This was intended to give you just a visualization of both solutions. Again, there are trials available where you can continue to explore the functionality in both of these products. So now it's time to move on to our final topic, portals. Portals are growing in their popularity. More and more businesses are wanting to provide more visibility to their customers and partners. Portals are a way of sharing data externally without allowing access directly into your CRM system. Dynamic CRM portals are really accomplished using third-party products. A couple of products that we would recommend are ADX Studio and CRM Vertex. This particular example here is an ADX Studio portal that was created where users can log in and they can post blog information, they can get event information, they can sign up for events and pay for events. So that just gives you an idea of what is possible using a portal solution. Salesforce portals are, the terminology that's used here is communities, and you can have partner communities and customer communities. This is a very impressive area of Salesforce, but it does have separate licensing associated with it. So these communities are used for external facing portals again, and they have lots of flexibility and are very easy to modify. Users are provided with a login and password. So Aji is someone that works for R.R. Donnelly, and he's been provided with access into this portal. It presents to him the various information he has access to. And again, this is configured very easily through the community's configuration. Here we're showing the current opportunities for R.R. Donnelly, and Aji can drill into that information for the laminated film and see the current status. Here you're going to see that the form looks very similar to the form that we were looking at when we were in our own browser view a little earlier in the presentation. An area that might be more appropriate is for a customer to be able to see current service cases. Here Aji can see any open cases and their status. The nice thing here is, again, with that integration with Chatter, Aji is able to communicate using Chatter directly back to the company and ask for an update on what is going on with this particular service case. So a very collaborative, interactive experience using the communities for that rich customer experience. I know this was just a quick peek at what's available from a portal perspective. If this is an area of interest, then I would suggest that you get more information and get a little bit more in-depth review of what's possible. So that completes our presentation. Here are some additional resources that you can go to for information about Ledgeview Partners, and certainly reach out to us for more information on any of the comparison points that we covered in this presentation. Thank you.